Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jessica, and this has been my health journey channel for a while. I post very sporadically here. I probably should post a little bit more frequently. And I am going to give you a health update here in a second, but I am going to let you know that this channel is going to change just a little bit because everything is changing just a little bit, or a lot bit. So let's start with my health stuff. I did have a recent infusion, a Remicade infusion for my ankylosing spondylitis. And apparently I lost enough weight, though I haven't been actively trying to lose weight. I just am losing weight just because I react to so much food. I lost enough weight that instead of having 6 vials that they put into my infusion, I am now down to 5 vials. And it's been over a week since I had my infusion, and I don't feel as good. So I don't know if I'm building up antibodies to it, or if I've just been taking on too much stuff and doing too much physical activity. I don't know what's going on, but my back is not as happy as it normally is just over a week out. But it's been a rough week. It has been a rough week. So Monday last week, I'm filming this on Tuesday the 22nd. So Monday last week, I was hooked up to my infusion. My daughter just happened to go with me that day because she didn't want me to be alone for the 3 hours that I'm hooked up to the IV, which is sweet of her. And while I was hooked up to the IV, I got the unfortunate text that my dad's wife had passed away from ALS. And I couldn't even go to him because I was hooked up to an IV. I had to wait like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to have the IV taken out and drive to the next county over to go be with him. Which, like, we kind of expected it to happen, but not that quickly. It was rough. That was all last Monday. And then Tuesday, I was back at my rheumatologist's office at where I get my infusion to get a cortisone shot in my right shoulder. It is still not healed after my accident in September. Still having a lot of problems with it. And so as I'm recording this, I'm a week and a few hours out from having a cortisone shot, and it's not doing any better. I mean, I can't say any better, but it's so minimal, the improvement. I really, really hope that it starts to get better. I really do. I need to be able to use my arm. Like, I can use it, but I can't reach back, and I have a hard time reaching up. And you guys, over the years, on multiple channels of mine, have seen how Greta sometimes she'll like push her nose in like my elbow, and like a lot of dogs do that to get attention, and it kills me every single time. I was told by my rheumatologist that I have a shoulder impingement, most likely from my car accident, and it's just going to have to heal. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on in there. He did some kind of like little ultrasound before he shoved the needle in my shoulder. It was not pleasant, but hopefully it will continue to improve because I need it. I need to be able to function. So I'm trying to think of what else has happened. There's just been a lot of drama in my life. And I've alluded to that on this channel as well as my main channel for quite some time, that I'm under a lot of stress and there's a lot going on. And I can tell you a little bit about it, but I can't tell you a whole lot. Though I think some of you have probably already guessed. Well, first and foremost, most of you know that I have 3 kids that I homeschool. And my 2 oldest are my boys, and my youngest is my girl. Both of my boys are autistic, and they present completely differently. They could not be more different than, you know, if they were different genders and, you know, like different mothers, different fathers, that kind of thing. They're so incredibly different. My oldest is hitting puberty. He's 14, and I love him to pieces. He is like the most amazing kid, so loving and funny. He is incredibly funny, but he's also as wonderful and quirky and funny as he is. He's also that big of a challenge, because though a lot of people don't know what it is, but including like his, in addition to, I should say, to his autism, he has ADHD, as do all of my kids, anxiety, depression, which is bad enough, but he also has PDA, which is pathological demand avoidance, which is not completely uncommon in autistic people. And from my understanding, and I'm still learning a lot about it, his stress levels are so bad. I don't know if it's from a specific trauma, though I suspect it could be just him being him. He is at that point with his health, I think, much like myself, where he's also been exposed to mold. We live in a very stressful, almost toxic environment here in the house, which I will get to that in a minute, but he is in a constant state of nervous system dysregulation, just like I am. Only his presents differently because he's a child who's hitting puberty, who's autistic, who has ADHD, who has anxiety, who has depression. He's got a lot of challenges, and he's really working hard to overcome some of those challenges. But I mean, he's still a child, so he's got some struggles, and that affects everyone else in the house, and so that's been a little bit stressful. But I don't want it to sound like I'm coming down on him, because he's the most amazing boy. He really is. He's the one that made me a mom, and like most people don't get to see his personality, because when we're out in public, he gets overstimulated, he gets overwhelmed, and that's when you see that like flight, fight, fawn or freeze response, which is typical of PDA people that are in burnout, which he is. And so when he's overstimulated or overwhelmed, you don't always get like the best behavior out of him. But at home, most of the time, not all the time, he's just a little gem. I don't even know how to explain him. He's so fun, and he's so quirky. Like, in some ways he reminds me of me as a child, like a little bit nerdy, but in like a cool kind of way. I don't know how else to explain it, but needless to say, it has put a little bit of stress on me as a parent. It puts stress on his brother and his sister, and of course his father. My younger son, who's the middle child, his autism presents, like I said, very differently. He's that, where my older son is more of a flight or fight response. My younger son is more of a fawn or freeze response. I suspect he also has PDA, and maybe not fully in burnout, but he's approaching that level, just because our stress levels in the house are just that high. And he breaks my heart because he's so sweet. Like, he's a big kid. He's only 11. He's a big kid. He wears men's medium clothes, if that tells you anything. Of course, my 14-year-old does too. He wears mediums or larges in men's, and they're children. But he's a gentle giant, and he's so quiet, and he's so sweet. You can push his buttons on occasion. You have to really push him hard for him to get like angry, but he's that kid that he's so incredibly gentle and sensitive that when he gets upset, instead of flashing out like my older son does, he actually just shuts down or he cries, and it's so heartbreaking because he's so sensitive. And we're working on it. My boys go to therapists, so they get to talk. Like, they can talk to me anytime they want to. and they know that. But sometimes it's nice to have someone to talk to who isn't your parent. So both of my boys go to therapy, and they love their therapist a lot. I mean, they've been going to them for a while, and they're like, "Oh, are we going to therapy tomorrow? I can't wait to go." And I couldn't ask for better people to care for my kids, during therapy sessions. So that's been going on. My daughter, like my younger son, is also starting to hit puberty at 11. Yeah, we can already see physical changes in both of my boys. I think my daughter is 10, like newly turned 10, going on like 15 or 16. She's already got that teenage girl thing going on with the lack of maturity to go with it. She is sassy. So, like, all three of my kids are like this all the time, which anyone that has kids, especially multiple kids, they just fight sometimes, especially when tensions are high in the house, which brings me to more stress and more change. For many years, and like, I'm not sure how to say this, but I'm just going to have to say it because this is going to become more of a journal of my life, not just my health. For many years, and some of you may be able to relate, some of you may not be able to, I have been a married single mom. If you know what that means, you know how hard it is. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. Do an internet search to find out what a married single mom is. And that's what I have been for years. Which, it's hard. It is really hard. And I try to stay positive. I generally am a very upbeat, positive person. Sometimes I'm just worn out. Like today, I'm worn out, but I'm still in a good headspace today. So for many years, I've been a married single mom, and I am about to become a single mom. And I'm sure some of you have probably already guessed that watch me on here, that watch me on my other channel, or maybe had some suspicions or whatever. Nobody's ever said anything to me specifically, but like, you guys know. You guys know. And it's going to be interesting because my kid's father we've been living together, we've been legally married for well over 17 years. And he said to me one day, over a year ago, "I just can't do this anymore. I just don't want to be married anymore." Like, I was kind of taken aback. Not that things have been great for a while. Obviously, I've been a single married mom, or a married single mom for a long time. But I was kind of a little shocked about that. But yeah, I've known this for a year and a half, but we've still been living together because of financial stuff. And he's in the process of moving out right now. Slowly. It's going to take a while, but things are going to change. And it's going to get interesting because I'm a stay-at-home mother to 3 kids that I homeschool, and 2 of them really would not do well in public school. There's a whole lot more to my boys that, like, I really don't want to put on the internet. I've already said enough, but there's other things that just don't need to go on the internet. My oldest just is absolutely not eligible to go to public school. I mean, legally he's eligible, but emotionally, with his mental health, he can't do it. He can't do it. We would have real big problems, and I don't know that my younger son would do well in public school because both of my boys are, I don't want to say they're emotionally unstable because they're not, but they're emotionally fragile. And I don't want to do that to them. I think with my older son, especially having PDA, like the flight or fight portion of the PDA, I think we would have legal battles on our hands if he was to go to public school. So he's really not eligible to go to public school. My younger son would not do well either, and that kind of leaves me in a bind because I've been out of the workforce for over 14 years because my older son, like I said, as wonderful as he is, from day one has been a challenge. So after I got through my maternity leave at my former job, I was back at work 2 days, and my then husband asked me to put in my 2-week notice because even though we worked opposite shifts and that's how we were going to do it, he couldn't handle it. So I had to quit my job and come home and raise my kid. And then we had 2 more. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for finances. So I think that is why I need to change this channel, not just be a journal of my health, but to be like a journal of my life, my health style, how to transition from being a married stay-at-home mom, a married single stay-at-home mom, to a single stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that transition, but I think I'm going to have to do this lifestyle type of channel to journal it for myself, journal it for my kids, for my sanity, and maybe a little bit of income. I don't know what I'm going to do because it's really hard to work from home, to do a customer service job or do anything that you normally would be able to do from home when you don't know from day to day what your health is going to look like. You don't know from day to day what your kids' health or mental health is going to look like. And if I have a kid or 2 or even 3 screaming loud and having a meltdown, like, and not just your standard meltdown, but like a really ugly meltdown, I can't be on a phone doing customer service when that's happening. So like I can't do predictable stuff. So it's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have to see how things go. It's going to be interesting. I don't really want to talk a whole lot about the divorce process. I mean, I can give like very vague, generic updates on that, but I really want this to be more about my new normal, what I'm going to become, finding myself again after a very tumultuous marriage, and just to see if I can find myself again, to see who I can become, because I'm clearly not the same person I was when I got married over 17 years ago. So I think, it's going to be about like the rebirth of who Jessica is and who my kids are going to be and what my life is going to look like. And it's going to be struggles. It's going to be a challenge because like with my health, some days I just can't do a whole lot. And other days I'm going to feel great and I'm going to do a whole lot. So it's just going to be, it's going to be my life. And so I've changed the name of this channel to the Chrysalis College because the Chrysalis Cottage, because for right now I'm living here in this house, but I'm sure if you have come over from my other channel, you know I absolutely adore butterflies, and the process from going from a caterpillar to a butterfly is called a chrysalis. So it's like you're being reborn into something new and better, and I feel like that is my process right now, and I want to journal it. I want to be able to look back and remember where I was and see how far I've come, and encourage myself, encourage my kids to just keep going. Even when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, and see who I am when I come out on the other side. So this may not be for everyone to watch, but that's what I'm going to do with this channel, and we're going to see what happens. And hopefully you guys will stick with me, and if it's interesting, you guys can just do this journey with me and ask questions if you have them. If it gets too personal, I'll be like, I don't know that I want to speak about that. But for the most part, I'm an open book without giving too many specific details about things that really aren't my story to tell. So other than that, yeah, I'm pretty much an open book. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully you stick around, and hopefully I can come out on the other side from being this crazy caterpillar to becoming a beautiful butterfly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I am tired, and tomorrow is therapy day, and going to see my dad tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not sure how to sign off on this, but I will keep you up to date on what I'm doing with my life, and like my food, my gardening, changing the house, and things I do with the kids. It's just going to be like a life vlogging kind of channel. Sometimes I'll sit down with you. Sometimes I'll take the camera wherever I'm going. And we're just going to see where this journey takes us. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed day, night, afternoon, wherever, whenever you are.